Hello everybody and welcome to Owlet Season 4, Week 4. My name is Miraculous and I'm going to be your play-by-play caster tonight. I am joined by the impeccable Sempra and we're going to be casting this game tonight.
Hello everyone, I am Sempra. I used to play in Owlet, now I'm casting, but this should be a good match.
Absolutely, we've got some very strong players in here. Team Growlu versus Hyperion. Growlu is coming off of a 2-0, so I think they're going to be looking to continue that. And Hyperion is they're 1-1 right now, so I think they're might be looking for a little bit of redemption here. What do you think, Sempra?
Yeah, I think these are two completely polar opposite teams. I think this is a really amazing match. There's just so much to cover, you know? Like, these are both 3.5 teams. These are both two teams coming together, you know, with Hyperion being what was Talonfire, and Hyperion and Team Growlu being Coag and Chinese Monsoon. You know, it's just a really interesting match because you have all these well-known players coming together and playing an Outlet match. So it's really hard to root for anyone because you want everyone to win.
I know the feeling. Do you have a favorite for the match tonight?
Not necessarily. I don't have anyone.
I'm not particularly attached to one team or the other, but I think that I'd really like to see Hyperion come back and really try and aim for that redemption. But you know, it would be just as entertaining to see Growluwu roll in for that 3-0.
Yeah,
we'd all be entertained.
Yeah, Hyperion has a lot to redeem. You know, coming off from season 3.5, you know, almost undefeated, semi-finalists. You know, there's just a lot to say about them. So it's there's a lot to redeem for them.
Absolutely. It looks like we're about to head in. Our first map tonight is going to be Lijiang Tower.
I think this map favors Hyperion in a lot of ways. You know, Hyperion has been one to run strange comps. That's not saying Team Growlu doesn't. When they decide to meme around, troll around, they run the strangest of comps, but this will favor Hyperion in a lot of ways.
I think I agree with you. I think that Growlu has that really nice unpredictability factor that sort of runs in their blood. It makes them hard to keep you on your toes. And I think that Hyperion is going to have to really make sure that they set the tone and set the pace. Otherwise, I think they'll find themselves thrown off.
Yep. Team comp wise, standard. I think Dark Ember on the Genji. I think this is a very strange pick. And now the Pharah. These are both very niche picks.
I agree. We're seeing a much more usual comp from Growlu, Doomfist and Metra probably going up for that top window, but we're running Pharah Mercy Genji, not double bubble Genji either. So I think that we might be seeing something unpredictable from Hyperion here, who are looking to keep Growlu off. And we're starting off, of course, the Symmetra comes in early. We've got King peeking around. We're rotating left for Hyperion, just trying to poke from this side, see if they can get anything, trying to get this early fight. We have Pharah coming in from the back. However, Y coming in with a great early pick on Baptiste King. However, matching it with a Zarya pick. We're now even, but there, Growlu is down a tank, and so we're really gonna have to see. Dark Ember goes down. King already out with the great barrage he gets to. He finds the Reinhardt and the Doomfist, but right now, only Vadi on point. Is Vadi going to be able to stagger here? No, he manages to die, and that is going to be an easy first take. Only 15% for Growlu, and now back in control of Hyperion.
I think Hyperion there did a very good job of taking those off angles. You know, you're right when you say that this Ryan pick is very strange. They should be having a Winston or a Ball, but their DPS are choosing so much. You know, Dark Ember the Doomfist now.
Absolutely. We got the early engage. We got the Reinhardt versus Reinhardt. We see the window coming out from Growluwu, and the Shatters traded or the shatter traded from Hyperion, and Y just finding pick after pick after pick, and they are gonna, looks like Growlu is starting, they've taken point. We have some staggers coming in, the pharmacy still around, Dark Ember going down, but it looks like this fight is over. And King and Lissaru just trying to stay alive and find any value that they can. They managed to pick off Vadi, but it doesn't really look like they're going to be able to achieve too much. Hyperion coming back in, looking like they're going to try and go for the easy re-engage while they're distracted. We have Kurt over here on the sideline, not ready to contest the Reinhardt. The immortality comes out and is destroyed, and Kurt goes down. King is then ready to get him out with that barrage. He's been just building it up this whole time. Lissaru resing Felix, and that is going to be another easy recontest. And this is just back and forth.
Yeah, you know, some huge doom engages on both sides. I think the King is making the difference here. He's just not being punished for it. I think if Growlu wants to see anything happen, they need Clown Dog to go on that Diva.
Absolutely, I'm inclined to agree with you. I think King is just uncontested, and I think they're suffering for it. Got the fight coming in here. We have Y coming in on the Doomfist, breaking out the Meteor Strike. The Kartik goes down. Vadi followed, Growlu followed. Dark Ember just picking up pieces. Y coming in with getting both the support lineup for Hyperion, but it's too late, too little too late. When Dark Ember's already taken out half your team, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I think Clown Dog seriously has to either make a play or swap over to that Diva. You know, 75 is not huge considering that it's been almost 3 minutes of this match, you know?
I know. I'm with you. We have the Deadeye coming out, I guess going for the pharmacy, but it doesn't find anything. We have Vadi over here. He's kind of stuck on the flank, a really weird rotation. We have the barrage coming out from the side of Hyperion. They managed to find a couple picks, but why? Again, he keeps finding these picks, but they're always late. They're not able to really truly find any value. Vadi, however, is able to stun out Dark Ember and get the headshot on, which is admittedly clean, but now Growlu is just forced to come in with these stagger picks and see if they can just stall it out. Dark Ember takes down Kartik and Clown Dog, and that's going to be another easy pick for them. Kurt is trying his best to try and stall it out, but Dark Ember looking awfully dominant on the Doomfist right now, and that is going to be round 1 going to the side of Hyperion.
Wow, that was just a destruction from the side of Hyperion's DPS, you know? When you see a pick comp like that, you usually you expect either the ball or the Winston to come out, but Hyperion are playing this style of pick. It's just so strange, you know? Waiting for Team Growlu to go in and just going ham on them. You know, Dark Ember does not let them catch a break, and the King just poking them out, no contest. And I believe that Team Growlu has taken notice. Playing the Echo Mercy is really going to give the King a hard time, as well as punishing Dark Ember for any mistakes he makes. So I think Hyperion has to play on their toes now.
I agree. I think that Growlu wasn't really expecting that sort of unpredictable play from the side of Hyperion. This is not the Hyperion that we've seen so far. Hyperion is going to take the early point control, establishing early presence, while Growlu's sort of possessing a much more spread out, less organized approach to this. We've got the Echo kind of contesting the pharmacy, but not real too much is happening. Y almost going down there. There's a good thing to note is that there's no real hit scan from the side of Hyperion here to contest that that Echo, and now we see 2 major picks. Both supports go down. Vadi finding the Pharah, not letting him reign unsupreme. They've learned their lesson this time. Kartik goes down from the side of Dark Ember. Y goes down, and then he goes down again. And then it's just cleanup for the side of Growlu, who's able to find it and take control of the early point.
This is 2 tails of pick comps, and Growlu just running the better pick comp. Stuff and Things finally swapping over to what we expected for a while. Now playing the double bubble, it should be better for Hyperion. Kartik putting absolute work on the Zen.
Stuff and Things jumping in, and he's melted. They're just the damage from the Zenyatta and the and the echo is just too much for him. We do manage to find Kartik going down to the side of King, and mines are coming out from Kurt, but Lizaru manages to say, not today, we're not interested, thank you very much. But nothing's really going to come of it. Hyperion is rushing in and getting staggered, and they're just not able to do anything with that push despite their picks.
You know, Kurt is putting work, Cloud putting work, Body, why? But I think the real key player here is Kartik. Kartik in that backline just raining down damage on Hyperion. They don't know what to do about it. They can punish him for it, but by that point they're already dead.
Agreed. We see the Winston duplicate come out from the side of Y. Lizaru finding 2 major picks on the side of Sigma and Kartik. Kartik's going to get rezzed by Growlu and pop that Transcendence, but Y is going to go ahead and boot Optic off through that Primal Rage. Dark Ember coming in with the Pulse Bomb on Body, and it's just Lizaru on point trying to contest it, stall it out, while Kurt realizes that, hey, nobody's over here, and this point's going to go. And that's going to transfer control for the first time for the round to Hyperion.
Lizaru just doing crazy work on Lucio, you know? We talked about how Lucio can be a key player in damage and support. Lizaru really showing it there, getting the 2 initial picks.
Looks like supports from both sides are just really managing to show that, hey, it's not just about the DPS. We trade high noons. King manages to get Vadi down first, which is, you know, a show of dominance from one McCree to the other. We do see the grab come out from the side of Hyperion, and it's just clean up there where you take out both supports, and at that point Hyperion or Growlu knows that fight's over and we need to reset.
I believe Felix actually slept Clown out of the flux and off the map. That's crazy, you know. Hyperion using their ults much more efficiently than Growluwu. That's just how they're winning this.
Absolutely. Hyperion seems to be rather momentum based, but as I say that, King goes down to Y, who's just being pocketed. Ember in the background trying to find a pick on Kartik, trying to get something, but he's being pushed out. Stefan Thanks managed to get Body off the map, and Clown Dog, which is a major disadvantage for Growlu. They're going to invest the duplicate into the Winston. Guess that's just to try and get that sort of contesting, wait for the reinforcement. Stefan Things does manage to go down to Body, who just finds himself a little bit too deep, but Y is finding himself alone with 5 players on top of him. Kurt manages to drop those bombs on top of Hyperion, but not too much. They're just going to kite around it. Now, it's only supports and Dark Ember on the point now, though, and that's going to be really difficult for them to find anything. Body manages to find Lizaru and Dark Ember, and that's going to switch control likely over back to Growlu.
Vati's always been one to keep attention to in this match. Vati was part of Hyperion in 3.5, now swapped over to Team Growlu. Will he be able to beat his former team? He is trying to tell the tale as he gets through himself.
King manages to find an early pick on Y. Vati popping the high noon, seeing if he can get anything. Kartik popping the trance to try and sustain them through that. We get the res off for Y, so teams are once again even, and then Y manages to find Felix and Stefan Things to make up for it. He says, hey, Growlu, your res is not wasted. I'm going to make it count. Lizaru and Dark Ember are the only ones left. We have King coming in, trying to stall. We have stall picks coming out from the side of Hyperion. They don't want to give it up, but I think at this point, it's just a matter of time. And round 2 is going to go to the side of Growlu. This is 1-1 on Lijiang Tower.
I think one of the issues that Hyperion was having is the backline just kept getting dived, and in that situation, you probably want a Brigitte. The Lucio doing a lot of work, but you really got to help your backline there, you know, with that disrupt pick comp from Team Growlu. You know, they were throwing ults away, they were losing fights, but they were just able to bring it back, in my opinion, to a comp difference.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks like Hyperion doesn't really know what they want to commit to. They're running half and half of everything that they want to run.
Exactly.
And they're not willing to fully commit to the dive or to protect the supports, and it's just not working out. We are seeing Ryan Zarya come up from both sides. We are seeing Bastion from Vati. This is going to be interesting. We have the traditional spam on the side of Hyperion and the Junkrat and the Genji. They're setting up. Growlu trying to set up this body up on the high point, but he goes down. Dark Ember says, "Hey, I'm just going to reflect in your face, and there's not going to be too much you can do about it. Lizaru almost going off the side of the map, but he's going to manage. And Growlu's having to make a quick, heavy escape. Otherwise, risk staggering themselves.
You know, I think this again the comp difference. This time, instead of Hyperion just playing such a spammier comp. Now that Team Growlu is on this Doomfist comp, let's see what they can do.
We got the neutral fight coming out, and in the neutral fight, Junkrat reigns supreme, managing to find Vati and Kartik. Optic pushing in, making sure, hey, you can't come in here. And Y finds himself with his pants down in the backline. This Junkrat excels at the neutral game, and it doesn't look like Growlu is respecting that enough.
The King is very well known for his Pharah, but he's also very well known for his Junkrat just going crazy. He almost has his tire already. This is going to be the first ult pop by either side.
Growlu seems to be initiating these neutral fights a little bit early. They're not rotating very fast. They're not getting these moments, and it's letting King just fire off willy-nilly. We have both windows coming out. Tire manages to find Y. Kartik's immortality field goes down, and the shatter from Stuff and Things. He comes in, tries to get something. Reverse shatter coming out from Kurt. Nobody's really dying though. There's a lot of damage being traded back and forth, but not. The first pick is Kurt onto Optic. Optic's going to go down, which is a distinct disadvantage. Not having your Zarya is big. Dark Ember comes out with a blade and tries to save it, manages to find Kartik, trades for King, and goes down to the Clown Dog. Lizaru now just trying to stall it out. Felix trying to keep him up, just saying, hey, you can make it just a few more seconds. We are 83%, but Stuff Things and Optic now are back, but they almost look like they're ready to commit, but Growlu is going to take the point away from Hyperion.
This is going to be huge for Hyperion. Doomfist much easier to just almost punch bot on this map. Just punch them back. Dark Ember swapping over to Doomfist. It'll be hard to do. To find value on Doomfist on attack, but we'll see what he can do.
Absolutely. The neutral game starts again. We have the grab coming out from Optic, and Vati pops the High Noon to try and dissuade the opponents, but it's not going to work. Dark Ember comes in on Vati. King manages to find Kartik, and Dark Ember has managed to find that pick. King just absolutely dominating, finding Kurt. Dark Ember finding Growlu. It's like they're trying to trade off. Hey, I can one-up you. Let me take another pick. Let me get another pick. Optic manages to find Clown Dog, which is a great stagger pick. And now Growlu is on their back feet, and they're not exactly sure how they're gonna do this.
Oh no! Dark Ember punches off the map.
Y manages to bait Dark Ember off the map. Kartik coming in with the window and the flank from Vati, trying to find some value on the side. Stuff and Things trying to stop Growlu, but Growlu manages to get off the beat. We have the King coming out with the High Noon, which manages to find Vati. That's an excellent pick, again establishing that McCree dominance. And now Kurt is just tempted. He's just trying to stall it out. Y is with him. They're both fighting for their lives. Y goes down, Kurt goes down, and that is map 1, Lijiang Tower going to the side of Hyperion. What a map.
What a map, you know. Hyperion doing what they do best, setting up their DPS for these crazy engages, these crazy picks as Dark Ember gets to play the game. You know, Dark Ember and the King have just been so huge here. Like, they just so good at punishing the little things, you know?
Absolutely. Just finding ridiculous value. Their tanks they're pulling a lot of this just let's support and let's hold strong and give our DPS the space that they need to work, and it's hard to argue with these results. It really is.
I've always been against the Reinhardt pick when you have a when Oakley's on, he's playing the Ashe. When the King's on, he's usually playing his signature Pharah. I've always been against having a Reinhardt in this situation, but Stuff and Things making it work. You know, you can see how he baits them in, giving all the ability to his DPS to get those picks, and it's working. I have no words. You know, it's interesting to see how these comps are being made, and how they're playing to their strengths. Hyperion have always been the forefront in this match in terms of coordination. I think that's what Hyperion has indefinitely over Team Growlu. Team Growlu mostly Masters players off-rolling, but they don't scrim often and they don't have very much coordination compared to Hyperion, and I think that's making all the difference.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing something from that Growlu put out maybe as a joke that they didn't plan it scrimming at all and they were all on off rolls, but they were going to have fun with it. And they seem to be having fun with it, but Hyperion just they're having more structure. In fact, Growlu looks where I think that they've may have gotten used to being just sort of naturally dominant. I've coached a few teams myself that just have that natural skill and they sort of rely on that. And when they actually come up against good organization, they can start to struggle. And I think that Growlu lost some of that trademark aggressiveness and unpredictability against Hyperion. They ended up being a lot of passive, and Hyperion just jumped on their throat. And they were using ults more aggressively and able to keep them down while their DPS did all the work, or a lot of the work.
Hyperion is just so good at that. They're so good at pressing their own advantages. They're so good at playing towards their strengths, turning the game into their game. And Team Growlu does not know how to respond. You say that they're usually playing the quick game, the fast game, but Hyperion taking that away from them. We saw on Lijiang multiple times. Team Growlu was first to the points, but Hyperion just knows how to make them feel condensed and make them feel like they're playing in their ballpark. It's a very
makes them feel awkward, out of control. Yes,
Sorry.
No, you're good. They just get an itchy trigger finger and they rush into situations that maybe they shouldn't be, or not take their time.
This is a very, very, very good look from Hyperion. Again, they have a lot to defend, and they're defending it very well.
Well, it looks like that we're going to be moving on to Junkertown from the pick of Growlu, and with Hyperion attacking first. What do you think about this map? What do you think we're going to see? Are you excited for anything here? Do you think Growlu is going to be able to turn it around here and gain a little bit more control?
I think Growlu picked this comp sort of to their strengths. It's a DPS heavy map. You usually do not want to see the Reinhardt be played here. It's so easy to punish Reinhardt. It looks there can be a case made for either side. Team Growlu has a much more solid tank lineup, in my opinion. Clown Kurt, they're very good at the ball Zarya, ball Sig, very good at those ball comps, which is very, very, very strong on Junkertown, But Hyperion has the superior DPS lineup that are so good at getting picks that it's just it feels more like a neutral pick. It's just who can play this better.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I think that I hope the Growlu knows what they're doing, because, like you said, this is a very DPS-heavy map. We've seen Widows dominate here. This map is absolutely filled, at least first point, is absolutely filled to the brim with alternate routes and flanking angles. You can see Genji, Doomfist here, all can find value. It's such an open map that it feels like a different game every time. And I think, Hyperion, who has shown sort of that DPS dominance so far, I think that it's going to be really important for Growlu to go, hey, we are technically giving them a little bit of an advantage. We need to make sure that we are aware and that we can clean this up. I hope the Growlu knows what they're doing, but Growlu is 2-0 so far in the stage, so we have to know that maybe they're hey, we're being pushed back on. We really need to wake up and go at it again. I'd like to see that anyway from Growlu. I really think that while this is very fun to see Hyperion dominate, Growlu's definitely not going down without a fight, and I think they just need to step it up to really give themselves a good fighting chance.
One thing I can almost guarantee on the side of Team Growlu is the Bastion comps. Fadi, an advocate for Bastion supremacy. He won't go down without playing some Bastion. So the other matchup I'm really excited to see is Y Akira versus Dark Ember. Both Widow and Doomfist players. as Team Growlu does not play the Bastion.
Does not play the Bastion or the... oh, there it is.
Oh,
it's coming
there
out
it is.
now. He's baiting us with that Widow pick. No Widowmaker so far from the side of Hyperion. We are seeing a Hanzo Mei Ryan Zarya, and they are defending. So this is a little bit of an iffy composition for
They might be going for the spawn
defense.
camp.
It looks like they are. We have Stuff and Things sneaking that big German body over to the side, seeing if he can get this. Just trying to deny the Bastion if they run it. Now body switches back over to the Widowmaker, so maybe we won't see the Bastion. We do see the early hold from the side of Hyperion, but Kurt's sneaking that card around. Stuff and Things has to rotate, and the King managed to find a great pick onto Vadi. But you know, Vadi's got that great advantage in that he's right here at spawn. He can switch it over. If Hyperion finds these challenges, then they're going to really struggle being on defense. Kartik manages to find King, so they trade back and forth. Vadi back wide, finding Dark Ember. That's going to be a massive disadvantage for the side of Hyperion. Hyperion is now on their back foot. Vadi finding 2 headshots on the side of Felix. Wow, he's just
on fire.
I'm speechless. That was insane.
I believe Optic has to swap over to that Diva as quick as he can. You know, there's nobody contesting those high grounds. I believe Dark Ember's made they swap over to do what I have said, but Doomfist is going to be hard to play here as the King Widow dips Body.
King finds Body. I've said this before, but there is no greater indication of an incoming Widow swap than the enemy Widow lighting up the kill feed, and that's what we're going to see from the side of Hyperion. We are seeing Dark Ember switch back onto the Doomfist. He was finding success with it earlier. Maybe he'll find some more now. Stuff and Things diving wide, trying to deny some of that value. Vati is, however, uncontested, and Kartik is just going to take down Stuff and Things with the help of Y. And DPS now from the side of Growlu is looking absolutely dominant. We see both snipers come out, and Vati is just having a game. That's what, 5 final blows so far already? First 2 minutes?
Growlu is in their inner Hyperion, you know. They're doing what they do best, and they're just lining their DPS up for these picks. The King might be the better Widowmaker, but there is no contestant in the Widowmaker other than him. So
exactly.
The disadvantage is immense here.
I think Hyperion is finding a little bit of trouble coordinating their dive targets. They're not going on the same targets. Only one seems to be pressuring anybody at a time, and that allows Growlu to get the peel that they need. So Hyperion really needs to step it up and reorganize themselves.
Why with the
Growlu pushing up? Absolutely. Pushing up, launching that Bob, who gets discorded and slept. King finds Vadi again in the Widow 1v1. This is a very interesting fight going on. We have Growlu going after King with the Valking Mercy. Manages to put the Glock to him. Dark Ember does find Kartik, which is a big pick. And Dark Ember does use his Meteor Strike. We find the Nano coming out on the Stuff and Things, but not too much is done with it. Dark Ember, however, is showing his Doomfist dominance. Finding a couple of picks there. Kurt goes down, Growlu goes down. Just an easy cleanup fight. Body just dies, not to stagger him. But Clown Dog trying to get out with his life. And it looks like he will, as Dark Ember manages to retreat for now.
The match is going as we had assumed. The DPS are to be huge on both sides. The King getting the upper hand on Vadi as he swaps over the Tracer. Team Growlu will get ults and the pick. Will they be able to win this?
That's a big pick. I think Growlu is starting to realize, hey, we need a couple people on King so that Vadi can do his work. Vadi is, however, off of the Widowmaker onto the Tracer. They find Felix Penguin on the Ana. That's not going to be good. Both supports down for Hyperion, and Growlu going uncontested. Dark Ember trying to find some value. Looked like he was maybe a little bit out of place. He wasn't able to capitalize, and Growlu's DPS were just a little bit fast. King does manage to find 2 picks, but it's too little, too late, and Growlu is going to take second point so far.
The King is being huge so far. He's been known for his Pharah and Junkrat's 2 heavy projectile heroes, but here he's showing he can flex over to that hit scan and just dominate. You know, he's playing these angles, he's playing these engages, and he's finding so much value.
Absolutely, he's having a great game, but 2 DPS doing well can only carry you so far when the other team is managing all play consistently. Growlu manages to get out, pops the valve, pops the gun on the Dark Ember. Dark Ember does go down at the hands of Y and Zen, and we're gonna see Y take another pick. Growlu is, or Hyperion is very split up. They're gonna pop the Transcendence in a late attempt to save stuff and things, and it is gonna cost Lisaru her life, as they're just uncontested.
Stuff just isn't diving the right targets. That Zen, uncontested, you know, DPS might be uncontested, but that Zen is just standing there, you know, getting free poke as Dark Emperor pops off with another pick.
I don't know if Stuff Things is deafened in the server or what, but he just isn't hearing the targets that are being called. We see the mines come out from the side of Kurt, High Noon, and Trans pop out. It's an ult Fiesta. Y does manage to find King before he can find any value. Clown Dob come back up. Growlu finding the Pulse Bomb, finding the Ana, finding the Brigitte, and Stuff and Things pops the Transcend, or the Primal Rage, trying to find something. Dark Ember managed to get the fix. We are seeing some picks, so I think that Hyperion may be able to take this back if they're careful with the staggers. We see reinforced. Stuff and Things does go down at the hands of Vati. Now it's Kurt. Y finds King. This is a very drawn out fight from both sides, but both DPS go down, and without their DPS, Growlu back out.
I think Optic is making a huge swap over to the D.Va. You know, double bubble is huge, but there just isn't much to contest the Winston anyway. No stuns, nothing really. That D.Va swap might be the key swap there, as he can negate a lot of the damage of the defense metrics and peel very well.
Absolutely. Kurt challenging the tanks on the high ground. Growlu's tanks trying to get them to move. Dark Ember a little bit out of position, can't go in for that dive right now. Kartik falls to King, and Stuff and Things on Growlu doesn't see the Ash right next to him. King will, however, clean up both supports on the side of Growlu. Optic finds Y. King eventually goes down to Clown Dog, but only after getting so many picks. And now Growlu is once again on the back foot, trying to get out. Clown Dog, unfortunately, with the late death. That's going to be a stagger as we creep into under 1 minute left in this round.
Lizard just being huge on this Brig, negating any dive they have, building up her rally. I don't know how long she's been on Brig, but I don't think it's been long, and she already has one. You know, one of Lizard's best heroes is the Brig, so it's awesome to see her putting so much value on this hero.
We see the Bob come out alongside the mines from the side of Kurt. These are two big ultimates, trying to clear that cart, trying to find the presence. Lizaru does go down to Y. She's the only one on point, trying to clear those mines. And now Y has just got free fire on Dark Ember, able to find him. Growlu again breaking out the Glock, trying to find Felix. Felix pops the Coalescence in an attempt to say, hey, get off of me. We see the Transcendence coming out from the side of Kartik. Body gets rezzed. And so that's Resurrection coming out from the side of Growlu. King managing to find Kartik. It's just back and forth. Stuff and Things finds Growlu, and Dark Ember managing to find Y. Dark Ember once again showing his Doomfist dominance, getting his team off the point. Optic with the clearing, the server clearing, Diva Bomb finding Vati, and now it's just Kurt. Kurt's alone, can't touch. Kartik a little late as Growlu is stopped just short of point C.
Team Growlu should not have lost out. So many picks coming through, but it doesn't matter. The King is just in your backline, just putting in so much work. I think a swap to a break should have been made sooner. I don't know. I don't think it was, but I think it should have.
I think that I agree with you, and I just think that Growlu's rotations got messy. To be honest, they weren't sure where they were coming from. We had people engaging from multiple sides, and the DPS for Hyperion were just dominant. They knew where they wanted to be, they knew where the enemy was going to be, and they were able to just exploit that. And with the late stagger deaths from the side of Growlu, they just weren't able to find the time that they needed.
why on McCree? I just wish you had picked McCree sooner. You know, so much to counter on that comp. You know, stuff and things. He seemed a little bit sloppy on that monkey. There's just so much to punish with that flashbang. You can protect your backline with from that tracer as they look to spawn camp. You know, they're giving them their own medicine. I think Dark Ember and the King predicting this as they swap to Hanzo
and Bastion, respectively. Yes. Well, this will be interesting. We all see them rotate to the right, so yes, it does look like they are aware of the spawn camp. They say, hey, we're not going to get caught with them. We're not going to get caught the same way y'all did. And this does force Hyperion to Growlu to back off. Dark Ember getting a little bit displaced, but managing to find that position. Mowing down Kurt's shield. Kurt now caught behind the payload, just trying to get a little bit of help. Stuffing things in very deep. Felix has to break out the immortality field to save him, and even then, we do see Dark Ember get that great side flank and just manage to find Kartik with a big pick against Growlu. So Y does manage to find Felix, but hey, they've got defenders or they've got offense advantage. They can just get right back here. It's a lot more important every pick that the Hyperion manages to get.
Yeah,
and that is going to get them point control.
I like the Hanzo swap. I was just about to mention that may probably not be the best here, but Dark Ember sticking on the Bastion, he might get punished here. So far, the advantage is heavily in Hyperion's favor as they're set up with the dragons.
An early dragon comes out, not really finding much value from the side of Hyperion, but we do manage to find Y, so that Bastion is working. A little bit of a delayed rotation from the side of Growlu. Some of them drop, some of them don't, and that does cost them a pick. King managed to find the Hanzo diff on Vati, and Growlu follows him. Dark Ember finding two. Again, the DPS just showing their dominance. Hyperion saying, hey, y'all got the space, y'all do your work, and no more needs to be said.
Cladnog, if you can hear this, please do not be afraid to swap over to D.Va. You know, so much to punish on the side of Hyperion, but sorry, just is not getting enough done. As he does exactly as I say. Cladnog heard me. As he goes down.
So now we're seeing Ryan D.Va versus Ryan Zarya. The draw potential from Hyperion is going to be a little bit weird with this Bastion that they're having to play around. Y with the very ambitious flank high noon is going to not find any value. However, it does leave the field wide open for Vati to clean up. And that's going to take off Dark Ember, take down Lizaru, clean up. We see maybe the BM shatter come out from the side of Kurt. A little bit of Ryan dominance. Dark Ember switching over to the Reaper, and we're gonna see, you know, this is this gonna, we've lost momentum now for Hyperion.
This is just, oh my god, beautiful.
Grab and the just combo from the side of Vati with the dragons. It's almost as if he was trying to answer to their own grab, saying, hey, this is mine now. And Hyperion looking scattered without this momentum.
You know, I think Optic has to do what Clownmark did and just swap over to the D.Va. Defense Mistress is so much value on this point. Dark Ember also not finding enough value on Reaper, in my opinion, to warrant playing him.
I don't know who his main targets are going to be. However, King does, and he finds a great double dragon onto Growlu and Kurt. That's going to be 4 going down on the side of Growlu, and that's just domination. That's a very clean, almost team kill right there. And they managed to find that momentum that they were looking for, which it seems that Hyperion is very reliant on.
Team Growlu has those ults. You have to touch this point in order to make it count. Their point, it's just too much to hold as Kurt gets a huge
ult comes out from Kurt onto some things. However, he's going to live. The immortality field comes out. Vati does manage to find Felix, but nobody's touching. We have to touch, guys. Kurt, they do finally. I guess they heard me, and they jump onto that cart. They manage to fight. and they find both tanks, and that's going to be big. And looks like the stagger coming out on Lizaru. It's a little unfortunate.
The BM.
The BM High Noon.
Yeah, I think the DPS and the tanks of Hyperion are just playing two different games. You know, you can see that their DPS looking for those picks as their tanks just sit on the cart. You can't be doing that, you know.
I agree.
You need to press your advantages as they were doing last round. You know, Team Growlu has even more ults to use as they only use the Shatter High Noon.
I agree. I think that that Hyperion is very reliant on their DPS being able to take that neutral space, and Clown Dog maybe shutting down this push before it can even get started. It looks like getting the remet kill on King, and that's got to sting. And now this is the Growlu that we know. You know, the Hyperion is just they're struggling to push into Growlu when they have control of the space.
Optic just is not finding enough value to warrant playing this Zarya. He has the grab, which he'll have to make huge. If it isn't, he has to swap off of the Zarya.
Finding an early pick onto Vadi, that's a big thing that could potentially set the tone for this fight. That was a delayed shatter, but Seth shuts him down, says, "I don't think so, Kurt. Get out of here." This looked like it was going the way of Hyperion, but Kartik finding 2 picks. Growlu finding a 5th.
C9!
We have a backtrap in progress, and King manages to clean it up. No one was looking, and wow, that's impressive.
Oh, Vadi gets the quick copy pasta, but this
and that was a true C9 too, because they had won that fight.
Just horrendous. Optic,
they were chasing kills.
Their own BM ultimate.
It's almost like Growlu is saying, "You guys are gonna pay for that one. I'm gonna ult your spawn. You're not leaving. You guys are in trouble for that one." And it's not hard to see why. That's got a sting on Growlu there. Oh, Dark Ember coming in with the Death Blossom onto Vati, and that's going to actually find some value. Kurt then tries to turn around, gets a little lost, and King that gives him all the space he needs. Some things finding Clown Dog, and we knew that close hold by Growlu couldn't last very long.
Hyperion has the ults to set the tempo. Team Growlu needs to take a quick engage if they want to see this card get stopped before the yellow goal of glory. So Hyperion is in a great place to put their foot down here.
We see the window coming out from the side of Hyperion, but we're not really seeing that. That's another remet kill on the Dark Ember. That is unfortunate. Clown Dog's looking, he's just collecting them at this point. And now Hyperion's on the back foot, but they can't afford to be. And that might be it. Lizaru is desperately clinging, trying to stall it out, but that's going to be it. I don't think anyone can touch. And that is map 2 that is going to go to Team Growlu.
I think Hyperion's DPS and their tanks are just playing such a disconnected game. You know, it might be because Oakley's off. It might be because these team comps are not ideal, but they have to play more together. They have to play. They have the. This might be a hard take to make, but they have the better team. They just have to play better. This is not what I was expecting from Hyperion. I always expected Hyperion to be the underdog mechanics, rolling teams with their coordination type of team, but it's just not happening.
Well, I think part of it is that Growlu just realized that we just need to give these guys a little bit push back, because I think Hyperion went largely uncontested.
Well, yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. And one thing I noticed coming from Team Growlu is that they use their ults first, and they use their ults demandingly. Hyperion just, whether they were building their ults or they were just too scared to use it, I'm not sure. But Hyperion is just Growlu is just pressing their advantage.
We saw some reluctance from the side of Optic. He just didn't want to switch off the Zarya, and I think we've seen it time and time again that you rather switch and throw away an ultimate than drag it on. We are going to see halftime, or potentially, maybe not. Yes, I think we are going to see halftime from the side. So that we are 1-1. This is as close a series as it could be. So I think that this is a very good game so far. It's been very back and forth, and I think that it's going to be a really great series.
Yep.
Looks like we're going to break, so we'll be right back. Stay tuned for more great content. Welcome back, everybody. We're back from halftime here for Game 3 in this very exciting 1-to-1 series of Hyperion versus Team Growlu. Semper, how are you feeling so far about this series?
It's very close. Very, very close. This is going to be a good one.
Absolutely, I'm inclined to agree. We are seeing a swap on the side of Growlu. Contreras coming in for the eponymous Growlu, and they have picked Eichenwald. And this is a fan favorite map. I think everybody's got a soft spot for the German map. What do you think we're gonna see here, Semper, from either side?
Firstly, I think Growlu's coordination and team comms will be much cleaner. Contreras, an actual main support player, versus Growlu offroling. Contreras is very good at calming as well. I think in Eichenwald, this is another back and forth like Junkertown, heavily tank dependent, but also DPS characters like McCree and Hanzo, just huge value here. It could go either way. Like, I'm excited to see what happens.
I agree. I think that Eichenwald is one of those maps where the damage are a little bit more consistent in their contribution, where it does really rely a little bit more on those tanks, whereas Lijiang and Junkertown are both I almost blanked on the last map that we just saw, are both a little bit more, they have that room for the DPS clutch. So I think that this is going to be Hyperion's chance to reset their tempo and find their footing again, or Growlu could continue to take presence and start to run away with things.
I am really excited to see what Lissaru can do from the Lucio. I'm hoping to see. Lissaru used to play on our old team back in the Masters division of Owlet. She used to ring, and she's playing in a Plat dominant tourney. I'm hoping to see a lot from her because she used to fit right in with all the other Masters players, and she is, like I said in the Plat tourney, she should be putting in a lot of work. She's one of those players where if you listen to her, she'll get a lot done. All you have to do is give her attention.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? And that's what I'm hoping to see from Hyperion, because as we've seen, that Hyperion has been sort of struggling on their focus. They don't know where they really are supposed to be at any given times. At times, Stuff and Things seems to be in his own little world. And
Yep.
they're struggling for it because their DPS just aren't having the same kind of natural consistency that Growlu has because of Growlu's higher, just game sense.
Your Reed coming in for Alcra. Reed is a team that I've been playing with for almost a year now. Excellent tank player, amazing McCree May player. This man is. I'm excited to see what Reed can do. I have always been an advocate that Reed's going to be one of the best DPS players in Owlet, so I'm excited to see what he can do in a map like Eichenwald.
I agree. I'm excited too. I think it's interesting that Growlu is coming out with the swaps here when they lost this last map, which we're seeing the same thing from or we're seeing the same composition from Hyperion, which indicates that they're not really wanting to change things up. They think that they can win with their current roster. But the sort of switches from a dominant team sort of indicates that they have a plan for this map and they're more ready.
I think Hyperion is forced to do this. Sorry, not Hyperion. Team Growlu is forced to do this. Growlu is not a main support player, so he does not know how to play main support. Contreras, on the other hand, is the main support player. The issue that arises is that this team becomes too high in average to actually be able to play an Owlet. Oh. So Reed has to swap in as he's low enough that it's
a little bit of a weight to pull things down.
Yeah, yes.
Well, let's hope that it works. This is going to be an interesting couple. It may provide the opportunity that Hyperion needs. Hyperion coming out with the Ashe Doomfist. They are defending first, and we'll see if the Doomfist can find the value that it needs to. Again, the picks from offense onto defense are a lot more important at the beginning because that's all offense needs to find is a couple.
Team Growlu going with standard brawl comp that we see everywhere, seen Owl, seen standard play. But Hyperion opting for a very greedy DPS lineup. You know, you have to find value on this DPS or you have to swap over to a McCree. It's very untraditional.
Dark Ember, I think, is going to have a little bit more trouble with this McCree. It might shut him down a little bit more. We are seeing the standard rotation around the side of the clock tower. Fighting has moved on to the point. That's both DPS from Growlu going down immediately. Seven Things and King both finding them. Dark Ember managing to get in the back line, find Kartik. Kurt is all alone in the middle of the team, and that is a very, very quick team kill.
You know, as I say that they need to find the value, they find it, and they find it very well. Dark Ember and the King both to 60% all charge. Absolutely.
Dark Ember just mastering those engagement times. He knows when to go in. His team excels. Oh, Reed finding an early pick on the King. That's not good for Hyperion. Dark Ember managed to kind of balance it out, finding Reed, but again, it's almost more important. Vati manages to survive that punch, but it's just by the skin of his teeth. We see the Meteor Strike come out, the Window come out. Lizuru managed to find Kurt. That's a big pick. There's no main tank now on the side of Growlu. The body also goes down on the side of Growlu, and that's going to be a quick retreat. Finding a lot of ult charge traded back and forth, but that was two ultimates coming out from the side of Hyperion. It's going to be a little bit harder to defend this.
You know, Body just isn't finding the value he should be on this McCree. As a Doomfist player himself, he should be knowing the timing of this Doomfist engages, but he just can't seem to find the Doomfist. As I say that, he does exactly what
he learned finally. Dark Ember's been hiding up there each time, and now they're forced to commit to Bob to try and find the value. Kurt does go down. High Noon comes out from Body. Beat comes up from Contreras. That's going to be ultimates invested that aren't going to find anything. And that's severely unlucky from the side of Growlu.
Yes,
they didn't even need Dark Ember there for Hyperion to push him back.
I believe Body or Reed should swap over to this Hanzo, because Dark Ember no longer finding the value. The King takes over.
We find the Blizzard coming out from the side of Reed, and then the Window coming out from Kartik. The Beat comes out from Lizuru trying to stabilize through this. The Shatter coming out from Kurt, and Stuffin' Things is main tank difference. Felix trying to find some value through his Window, but Contreras says, hey, get off of there. You're not supposed to be on the counter. The cookie jar is out of your reach for a reason. And that's going to be a kind of close, but close nonetheless.
Oh, he's looking for remake kills.
Oh, wonderful. That is, he's collecting them. He's got two so far. Let's see if we can get any more.
Ults, relatively, there aren't many. Stuffin' Things does have a Shatter. He'll have to look for value on that.
We're looking at a neutral game here right now.
Kartik, oh, Body
out of position, caught with his pants down, and that is not going to be good for our attackers. Defenders now have an advantage. There's now nobody to protect the backline against the Doomfist, and Dark Ember comes right in with the Shatter, capitalizing on Stuffin' Things. Great Shatter, and they just clean right up without the McCree to protect their backline. What are you gonna do?
Yep. Vi seriously has to take his job more seriously. He is the backline protector in this comp. McCree just has such an important job in this brawl comp. You cannot be taking those flanks and dying like that.
It really is. If King managed to find Clown Dog, which is another, like, they're gonna have to hold off or invest in a 5v6, which is what they look like they're doing. But if you're not sitting there protecting your backline as a McCree, then you're basically giving the Doomfist a free ticket in. Kurt does manage to find Dark Ember, which is a great early shutdown. Both Windows coming out in this neutral fight, just trying to find some value on both sides. Clown Dog managed to boop up the King and Stuffin' Things. Fire strikes Vati, so we are now traded DPS on both sides. Kurt manages to find Lizuru. The Grav coming out, the Dark Ember Meteor smashing. That is the Slam Face Jam, and that is going to be a very nice pick. Stuff of Things is coming up on Kurt.
Oh, Kurt.
Hyperion managing to push them back. Clown Dog not going for any remet kills. And not this time anyway.
Kurt's kind of getting main tanked at the moment. This is the second fight that should have been winnable, but he let the shatter go through. But the ults are in favor of Hyperion as they take a 3 to almost 2 engage.
Hyperion does have that really nice speed to stabilize and the May ult for defensive. Body pops up the high noon. He managed to find something. That's a big pick. That's the opening you need. They beat late. There no beat to initiate. They don't even beat reactionary, and that's a wasted beat in a lot of ways. Phoenix Penguin's immortality goes down. Back diff, and Clown Dog gets a third remet kill on the King. How many can he get by the end? Body just free firing from the top. Just the angle you love to see as McCree. But he's not protecting his backline, which, you know, maybe Dark Emperor can find that value. He is going on to him a little bit, and he wins that fight. Not really surprising that many people. Reed does clean him up, but now Growlu they're coming in at the end. We see the
huge
shatter come out from Kurt onto King, and there goes Felix off the side. Kartik kind of popping off there with a couple of finishers.
Kartik.
And now Hyperion has to contest. They have to touch this at the end this is a messy brawl right here. It's basically just who can find the pick first. Doomfist trading punches. Kurt manages to catch Dark Emperor in his charge. We see the Stuff and Things Earthshatter come out, not really find anybody. Reed manages to find Optic, and that is going to be what they need. Lizaroo trying to beat Stabilize, but it's too little too late. These beats are too reactionary, and Growlu just is cleaning up at this point, and they're going to roll that in and get their opportunity on point C.
Bati using the counter charge twice, once on the Doomfist, once on the Reinhardt, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But, you know, just using getting excellent value off of his kit. Kartik, another huge player here. 3.8 hit scan player is just an absolute monster when he has to go DPS mode.
And Baptiste is that DPS character that everybody likes to say. We see the grab come out from the side of Optic, not really finding an interesting amount of value, but it looks like this team, the fight was going on in the backline. So not really finding that much value from that grab, which is a little unfortunate. We could have saved it, but it's not exactly like Hyperion is lacking in ult economy.
I believe Hyperion does have a little bit of the edge in ult economy, but it should be a pretty balanced fight. Who can get more value on ults, and how little can they use?
Neither beat here, so no stabilizing. King does come in with the High Noon, trying to find something. We're not really going to find anything. Kurt whiffing a shatter, not really finding anything. Meteor Smash coming in, but Dark Emperor is busy in your backline. He's just constantly back there, and that is going to be the stopping power that Hyperion needs to push them back. Trying to stop Clown Dog, tell him like, hey, you can't come in. Clown Dog not even going to be able to go for a 4th remet kill. Yeah, and that is going to stop Growlu in their tracks before point C.
Growlu getting caught on the 3rd point once again. I think the memery has to go down a little bit. Clown Dog, stop going for those remet kills. You know, one of those times he could have eaten the grab. You know, your job as Diva is just... Diva and McCree have such a large, integral part of the Sprawl comp that you cannot be fooling around, and unfortunately those two seem to be the ones making their name in the meme books.
Absolutely, and Hyperion is more than happy to take advantage of that. You know, I think that they know that they're sort of the underdogs here, that Growlu has a lot of that natural skill, and they're having to play more like a team and realize, okay, we have to wait for them to make a mistake and we can capitalize on it. And Growlu, who are, jokesters, and it's got its place, but against a team that knows it and is willing to capitalize on it, it's playing against them. And so, depending on how much Growlu sobers up and manages to, pull it together, or if Hyperion continues to exploit those weaknesses, because that's what's going to win the game for Hyperion.
We just need that aggressiveness that Growlu had at Darkertown. They have the much better Brawl comp. They have a much better backline. They just need to speed on this Reinhardt before that Doomfist can find value. Absolutely.
Neutral game coming out. We are seeing the standard rotation from Stuff and Things, mirroring what Growlu did round 1. Kurt comes in with the Shatter, but not really going to find anybody. We are rotating back, taking more aggressive. Dark Ember trying to find a pick. Body not being able to quite shut him down. He's now hiding in the back. Condog's going to push him out and take him down. That's a big DPS down from the side of Hyperion, and now Body finds Felix too. So now this is not looking good for Hyperion. They need to get out and reset, or just die, because right now they are feeding ult charge.
I think Kurt's charge might have looked like it was a throw, but I think that's quite huge. Finding all that value. Hyperion does not have any stuns other than that Doomfist, so if the Doomfist is the backline, there's not much you can do about a Reinhardt that wants to play as aggressive as Kurt's playing.
That's true. There's a very quick rotation to the side too, to establish that frontline presence, which they need desperately if they're going to match Hyperion's organization. Very quick rotation. What a massive shatter for Seven Things onto. He finds literally everyone in the palm of his hand, and that shatter is going to single-handedly take point A for Hyperion. What a shatter.
Learn to block those shatters. It's interesting that Stuff and Things has such an ult advantage over Kurt, even though they were on the losing foot of that fight. Even Optic is matching Clown Dog.
It was just
the main tank difference. That's all you can say.
Yes, absolutely. They knew and that was exactly what we have been talking about. Hyperion knew what they wanted to do. They knew that they were going to speed in and they were going to shatter, and they executed it. And Growlu was caught unawares. Avadi is going to find Optics. Contreras is going to find Seven Things. So they, again, a little bit more of that punishing, like, oh, you caught us, and we're a little embarrassed, so we're going to make you back out really quickly, which shows that Growlu can play seriously when they want to.
Growlu is so good at those neutral fights without ultimates. They just don't know how to use an ultimate advantage, how to execute a fight in an ultimate deficit. They are playing this well, but they just.
Vasti going for the flank, high and noon, not finding anybody though. He's gonna try and take out Optic down, but he's gonna do it, and that's excellent. Not too often you see the McCree win the McCree versus Dario matchup. We see the Shatter come out from Stuff Things, not find anybody. This is a lost fight for Hyperion, and clean up by Growlu. And go ahead.
We talked about how good Hyperion is at managing those ultimates. They saw a lost fight, they didn't use any ultimates. Seven Things went for the Shatter, but Shatter isn't one of those ultimates that you're too worried about losing. So Hyperion, again, playing the advantages very well.
Exactly, you get it back so darn fast. Now they're sitting on 5, and as soon as they realize, oh, this fight's over, it's not going to work. Kartik does invest this sort of zoning window. It's not going to really find too much value besides wasting a few seconds off of Hyperion's clock, but it's not exactly too important. We see an early Doomfist will come out from Dark Ember trying to find some value, but he gets just
beautiful eat.
Stunned. Massive eat from the side of Clown Dog, just eating that grab, which is a big win condition from the side of Hyperion. I think Hyperion was going for that grab dragon, and it got eaten, and King didn't know what to do but invest. And we've lost dragon, and it seems in the blink of an eye, Hyperion's ult advantage has all but vanished.
As much as I love Hyperion's support line, they are not using their ultimates. They have been holding on for it for way too long. Karthik and Contreras using the opportunity they can to get those ults down, but the window and the beat, just invest those.
Absolutely. You should get them so fast anyway on Baptiste. And it's just, I think Hyperion is way more comfortable on defense than they are on offense. They really struggle if their DPS can't. They rely on offense on their DPS getting picks, and if they struggle with that, then it becomes a lot more of a hard fight for them.
Absolutely.
Big freeze coming out from the side of Reed. Gonna find some picks. Dark Ember goes down in the back line. Or before he can get there, Clown Dog manages to find a couple of picks himself, and that is another early shutdown. Growlu is just they're Hyperion doesn't know what to do. They're being shut down at every turn.
2-2 trade for ultimates. Key thing is Hyperion used both support ultimates, and Contreras now lapping Lissaru. Lissaru swapping over to the Mercy, which might be a
Interesting pick. Vachi once again popping the sort of zoning flank high noon. We see the Dark Ember Doomfist ult. That's the second one in a row that really hasn't found any value. Vachi coming in with the flank, gonna find Felix probably. Felix a little bit trapped. Reed manages to cut him off. Dark Ember too little, too late. Tries to save his port lineup. Clown Dog is having the game of his life. 3 remake kills, eating ults left and right. He is unstoppable on the D.Va.
This Mercy pick is really hurting them. They cannot.
And that's a huge stagger.
Huge stagger. They cannot rotate like they want to. They're making these huge rotations, but they can't. But it seems like their entire plan was to get the king on Pharah.
It might be too late for them. Nobody there to touch, and they were probably relying on that. Optic manages to come in, but they're missing both DPS. This is a very, very sad display to see as Growlu shuts them down before even point B.
You know, if you have a team that's heavy around your DPS, that's fine. You need your DPS to get value. Dark Ember was just not finding the value he was on any other map on attack. You know, he's playing like a tracer, and if you're playing like a tracer, the call is to swap off Doomfist and go to that tracer.
Yes, I agree. I think that Growlu learned their lesson, and they learned that, hey, they're playing off of us being super split up and doing these memes and not exactly knowing where to go. And let's play more together, and he's not going to be able to find that much value. And that is exactly what shut him down. He started to struggle with that lack of easy targets.
I think Kartik was one of the biggest difference makers in this match. Kartik, yeah, he had 3.8 DPS player. He's one of the winners of Owlet season 3.9. He's not uncomfortable on taking his DPS advantages, and he's just been pressing those advantages. He says he has silver eliminations on Baptiste.
I would say that like you said earlier, Growlu's neutral game is just so much stronger. When Hyperion has those plans and the ult advantages, it works, and they're able to come in real clean and catch Growlu off guard. But if you give Growlu time to formulate plans of their own, they're gonna win that fight, and you have to be quick and decisive against Growlu, or they will run circles around you.
It's like they're almost forcing Ryan Zarya. You know, if you want to play Pharah, if you want to play Doomfist, if you want to play those pick heroes, so be it. Reinhardt just does not work with those heroes. I believe the Nest went highly in depth with why it doesn't work. You know, I've been trying to tell the king myself, get off of the Reinhardt. Play. It's fine to sometimes take a gamble, play the double bubble, play the ball. You know, while Reinhardt may be the default NA meta, it's fine to experiment sometimes, especially when you're playing against a team that knows how to play Brawl so much better, and you have a team that's so eccentric around their DPS popping off. Set your DPS up with something other than a Reinhardt.
I agree. I think where Hyperion is really struggling is that Growlu Hyperion does what they do very well. They do this brawl, death ball, DPS centric comp very well. No one can deny that. King and Dark Ember pop off when given the opportunity to, but you cannot fit the same tool for every job. And Hyperion is desperately trying to apply this strategy, but Growlu has more than one option in their toolkit. They have other things they can try, things that they can play around Hyperion, and Hyperion is struggling when they can't really play their comp the way they want to. And Growlu knows this and is able to exploit this just through more versatility. And Hyperion, they either need to learn to adapt and pick up some more things, even if it's not as strong as this sort of one trick they have. They need to pick up more, or this is going to be how everybody shuts them down.
Yeah, I think on surface level, if you're beating your counterpart, Stuff Things getting those huge shatters on Cursed, Optic finding the value he needed to at times, even Lissaru popping off. Sometimes you have to you have to try something different. If Brawl is not working for you, there's other options, and that's what Hyperion needs to realize. We have not seen the ball swap once. We've seen the diva swap only for stall. They have to just play what works.
Exactly. Ryan Zara is not going to be the thing that is not going to be the answer every time, especially against a team with the game sense that knows how to play around a Ryan. While Hyperion is having these great individual moments, like excellent shatter by Stuff and Things, or Dark Ember finding 3 in the backline, they are not finding the natural synergy that Growlu has. When they're putting their heads together and actually planning, then I think we see a lot better play from Hyperion. But Growlu performs so consistently at that higher level that Hyperion is really struggling to match that all the time. They're winning fights every now and then, and that's giving them advantages at times, but they are really I think that's why we're seeing them struggle so much on attack, is that attack relies on consistent, like, well playing, and getting those rare fights, just break through defense, because all defense has to do is knock you down 2 players and that push is done. And offense, you have to get them down, or you're going to struggle. And I think that's why Hyperion is struggling so much, is that they can't win that every time, and they're really struggling with that.
Look, Dark Ember got me with this /log. I can't lie, but thank you, Silent.
Oh, did you really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it at first. I was just wondering what happened, but we have, again, they're I'm seeing some memers in chat. At least both teams seem to be having fun with it. I'll say that this is a very we're seeing a lot of great explosive moments from both teams.
Huge individual play.
Absolutely. But the team play that wins maps is not there.
Individual play will only get you so far. Stuff Things, huge shatters. The King popping off, Dark Ember popping off, Lisser at times popping off. You have to play more like a team.
Absolutely. And and when it comes down to it, if both teams are going for these individualistic pop-off moments, the team that gets more of them will win. And Growlu, they have a higher SR average, they have higher players who are off-rolling, have better game sense. By just the nature of it, they're going to have more pop-off moments. And I think that that's rarely at the core of it where Hyperion is struggling.
Yep. Temple of Anubis. This this map is almost completely counter brawl. You know, while you can run the brawl, it's just almost so much better to run the poke comps, the spam comps, the pick comps. You know, the Ash, the Junkrat, the Pharah, even the Doomfist, the Widow excel on this map. We need to see Hyperion get off of these Reinhardt comps if they want to win this.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you see so much double shield on this first point, especially with the Orisa buffs, and you have a good Ashe that can just land those dynamites into him. It's a lot harder for that Doomfist to find value. And so I think that we are going to see. I think Hyperion honestly is going to struggle on this map, and I think that Growlu. I think that they have the advantage on this map. It depends on if they play it right. You know, they could get cocky. You know, they are 2-1 right now, but they could absolutely just throw this away. But I think that Hyperion needs to be careful.
This was an odd pick. I would have picked Volskaya if I was Hyperion. Your brawl is very, very, very strong when it comes down to it. But brawl does not work on every map. Temple of Anubis is one of those maps where brawl does just not work a lot of the time. If Team Growlu can exploit that with a counter brawl comp with Junkrat Ashe, they will see huge success. If they decide to play their own brawl, they're putting themselves at a disadvantage of shooting themselves in the foot.
Absolutely. The challenge. It's a challenge, definitely. Hyperion showing a lot of that traditional lower SR team inflexibility. The inability to play anything but what they practice. No comfort in switching off. No natural synergy besides what they practice. And that is not what Growlu is experiencing at all. But we are going to be heading in. Growlu is going to be defending first. Hyperion is going to be attacking. We should be getting started any moment here. Casters are ready. We're all ready. So hopefully this can get started. This may be it. This could be the final map of the series. We've seen it. Hyperion got a really good start, but they're sort of, you know, Growlu is one away from running away with it. And if we can get Hyperion to win this next one, then this will be a very close 2-2 series. If not, then we are going to see a Growlu 3-1 victory. So this is it. We are match point. And we're going in.
Now entering the Temple of Anubis.
So, like we said, this is not a brawl map. Hyperion is going to struggle here. They're going to, you know, if you're going to play brawl in this, you got to play fast. Junkrat is king on Temple of Anubis. It is he's the reigning pharaoh, and you cannot play slow with brawl into Junkrat. So if Hyperion is going to force this brawl, they need to play fast. And what do we see but brawl from both sides, actually. We see King breaking out the Pharah, the Pharmacy. Genji, interesting pick without... I think it's going to be very interesting. There's not a lot of frontline damage from the side of Hyperion. But what do you think of this matchup?
I think that's both. You know, we talked about Team Growlu shooting themselves in the foot if they play brawl. Both teams are shooting themselves in the foot. As you said, they have to play very fast for this to even work. Without a Lucia, you just can't do that. And for whatever reason, Team Growlu is opting for the brawl when they could just take double shield comp and make this so much easier themselves.
And no spam from either side. This is a strange Temple of Anubis indeed.
Very, very strange Temple of Anubis.
Alright, Growlu holding up on the standard point. We see the standard rotation come in. Stuff the eggs just barely clinging to life. Felix's immortality does go down, and Stuff Things not far behind it. King does manage to find Reed, and he's free firing from behind, but against that Diva, you're going to struggle to find much value. Watt finds 2, and I think first fight.
This comp just does not work because you need that Lucio. Your farmers have to be getting multiple picks every single fight for this to even make sense. While the King did find the hit scan very quickly, you know, it's a different story when you're against D.Va.
Yeah, exactly, and we've seen how dominant Clown Dog has been on the D.Va already. Kartik managed to find King. Lizaru is she has to pull out that res, otherwise you're waiting for almost your whole damage. Because honestly, Dark Ember going down two to Reed, that is a not good, and Hyperion is they're looking boom. They are split. They don't know. Their engagements are messy. This is not looking too good. Doomfist does go down though.
Clown almost spawn capping the King as this far just is not getting enough value while she is getting picks. You need to find centric value.
King goes down. Optic does manage to find one. Ember coming in and managing to find Kartik and Reed, and that actually is going to take point A for the side of Hyperion, but that was messy, and honestly, I don't think it should have worked. I don't know what happened there on the side of Growlu. What they just gave that up. But they are going to take point A, and we're going to be coming in for point B. Not really too many swaps from either side. We're clinging to the Doomfist and the McCree, and the McCree's good, but I don't know if the Doomfist is going to be able to find value.
Yes, I think he needs to just swap over to the Echo or the even the Tracer. Just this Doomfist is not going to work.
Yeah, I agree. We see the stabilizing beat come out from the side of Contreras, but not too much going to happen. Optic does pop ult, trying to find picks, not really finding it though. King manages to find Y. Y's just not finding the value he needs to be. Lizaru does go down at the side of Reed. That's a big pick. Did he just charge? I think Stuff and Things just charged that bomb into his Pharah.
Wow, that's so unlucky.
That is unlucky. That is not good for Stuff and Things. I think that Hyperion is I think that they're not thinking clearly. But neither is Y, for that matter, who's still sticking on the Doomfist and just not finding very much value.
Y really has to make a swap right here. It's just Clown's
another kill. Oh my goodness. Optic does manage to find Reed, but as we know, it's so difficult to win second point of Anubis. We see the Dark Ember come out with the blades. These blades are being consistent for dry blades. Yeah, this is extremely consistent as far as performance coming up from both sides, and it looks like that again Hyperion is just starting to DPS diff again. This is sort of the DPS difference that we were seeing at the beginning of the game, the first series. So we'll see if they can continue to pull it off. Kurt pulls off that very nice Shatter's gonna find both of them, and that's actually gonna take that point back, just shy of 3 ticks for Hyperion. But we are going to find, we have the neutral game starting up again. We have Graviton Surge and Earth Shatter and High Noon and almost every ult on the side of Hyperion, whereas Growlu basically sitting on nothing.
Yeah, they used all their ults to recontest, which is massive, but this is going to be a tough fight to hold, as they only have one to gain anyway.
I think that Hyperion basically has to throw this away. And speaking of throwing it away, that is
wow. That was
not gonna find too much value with that combo. That was 3 ults already. We see the counter High Noon come out. King managing to find. He doesn't even need the High Noon. He gets 2 without it. We have Kartik up on the high ground using that window, but Dark Ember says, "Hey, no, not gonna happen." Clown Dog is left, trying to go for that last remit kill, almost finds it, but doesn't. Kurt trying to stabilize tries to break out the shatter, doesn't find anybody, gets killed before he can use it. Y comes in trying to do it. Stuffing things, earth-shattering Kartik. Contreras now trying to stabilize, trying to hold on to it. Clown Dog trying to find. He finds the Dark Ember with the noon. This is 2 CP in a nutshell, folks. Stuffing things managing to stop the Doomfist punch. Y goes down. It's just Clown Dog, Contreras, and Reed now. We're all back on the point. This is the whole fight all over again. King finds Kartik with the high noon. Hyperion has to be fast here. They have to find these picks together. One at a time. You're not going to do anything. We use Glyceru's beat to stabilize. Clown Dog eats Optic, and Growlu gets off the point. And that's going to be an under-minute victory for Hyperion for round 2. Or for round 1, sorry.
I was quite surprised. You know, High Noon Window is quite a common ultimate combo. As Hyperion used it, they grabbed Team Growlu to the other side of the wall where it was inaccessible to both ultimates, so it felt like they had thrown away those 3 ultimates and Team Growlu had a fighting chance, but they brought it back, the King popping off. Another, again, these DPS diff, this DPS diff is just...
Hyperion, they stepped it back up and they were finally able to give their DPS the space that they needed. I really don't know what Growlu is doing running Brawl into this. You can run these other comps and they will struggle. Especially now that you're on offense and you have advantage, and now Growlu is running Brawl on defense. They are going to struggle on this, and yet we're not seeing that from Growlu. I don't know if Growlu wants to play longer, but we could very easily see this go to map 4 or map 5.
Alcura seriously has to get off this Doomfist. They are picking this up. The King seems to be counterpicking specifically for that Doomfist. I'm not sure why he's still in this Doomfist.
I think it's really interesting. We keep seeing Dark Ember's Genji. He's finding so much value without an Ana. He's finding these blades. He's managing to build it relatively consistently too. So I think it's going to be interesting if he can continue to find this
DPS also
level of value.
Hyperion.
Already, King is almost halfway to a dupe, and that's a huge... Oh, Optic finds Reed, but Clown Dog finds Stuffing Things. Tanks going down on the side of Hyperion now. That's a pretty big advantage for Growlu, who is now able to take the established point presence. Felix trying to hold on to the point, but it's just him. King just managed to get Clown Dog out of mech. This is messy. Dark Ember and Glyceru both on point, trying to find these kills. Dark Ember kind of popping off, but Reed finds King, then he finds Glyceru. Dark Ember now finds himself alone, and that is going to push probably the last remnants of Hyperion off this. Optics now. Clown Dog trying to get that last remet kill on Optics, not finding it, but he is going to get the final blow. And now we are just...
Dark
that is...
That might be a tilting ultimate.
Yeah.
I
don't know about that. I mean, Blade is... Dry Blade's not the strongest ultimate in the game, especially the breakout. We see the BM Shatter come out on the Glyceru, and that is going to eventually take point A, leaving them with a 5.5 minute time bank.
Alcura, you are getting Doomfist, but how long can it serve you?
Reed takes out Stuffing Things really early. Very bad for Hyperion here. They don't have their Reinhardt. That's a big pick. Y finding Glyceru and Optic in the same uppercut. Y goes down. We see Clown Dog's ultimate comes out. He's remeching though, and so not really anything happening. King trying to roll into the background. He was going for the flashbang, but they beat it and he wasn't able to find any value.
He stepped off the point.
That is 5 minutes in the time bank for Growlu.
It is not
versus 1 minute. Growlu, I guess they didn't want to play longer.
Initiating.
You know,
that is something.
I'm sorry why I have to say this, but you're kind of being deadlifted right now. Just, while he does find the value, the double uppercut was huge. You can find so much more value on Echo, on anything other than that Doomfist. Hyperion just needs to realize that and punish it. They just need to play the McCree sooner. They need
The
to
consistency is key, and
exactly.
he doesn't have it. All Hyperion needs to do is go, hey, Doomfist dies. We have a 5v6. We should win this.
Exactly.
And they're not doing that. They're just taking too long in these engagements, and they are. This isn't looking good for really either team. This is showing some weird decisions by Growlu and an inability to adapt by Hyperion.
Beautifully said. You know, Dark Ember. He's making these huge plays on Genji, but McCree is just so much more consistent and better at dealing with the Doomfist. You know, swaps have to be made, and even more so on the side of Growlu. They need to play something other than this brawl comp. They are.
You have to ask if these are comfort picks or what, because these are not traditional picks at all. Dark Ember does manage to find Y, who almost takes him out with the rocket punch, but not quite able to. Dark Ember is in the back line now, finding a great amount of value. He's building that blade. He's almost already halfway to blade. Stuffing thing, pushing in, taking advantage of that. Dark Ember goes down. Hyperion knows they only have 30 seconds left. They have to find something. This neutral game is where Growlu excels, and just like that, they heard me. Growlu shuts them down. They knew that they lacked in that neutral game, and they took advantage of it. I don't think anybody's gonna be able to touch.
You know, follow picks coming out. It's just.
No, nobody's gonna be able to touch. That is a full hold, and I mean, to be fair, they just had a minute, but Growlu has 5 minutes to get one tick.
Inability to adapt. It's the inability to adapt.
They were too slow on that initial push. Even though they found the first pick, Hyperion should have won that. They just can't capitalize. They cannot follow up and win that neutral game. Once Dark Ember went down, they didn't have that pick potential, which is what they rely on, and they just couldn't out-neutral the enemy, and Growlu excels at that. Growlu excels at maybe not getting those 5k, from the flank, but they do manage to just hold the ground well.
You know, if you're Hyperion, you just no matter if they win this map or they lose it, if they manage to hold on or they don't, you have to be VOD reviewing this kind of stuff. You have to be learning when swaps should be made. You know, coaches cannot talk in the middle of maps. You can't be expecting others to tell you when to swap your comp up, because it feels like Hyperion this entire time has just been just a step away from winning this, and that's just picking the right comp.
I really wish that we could hear Growlu's comms and see, like, are these decisions being made on purpose, or what is the logic here? Where you start the neutral game out early, Growlu taking no time at all. We see 2 charges into the backline. Y finding a great headshot on the Dark Ember. Contreras finding Lizaru. Clown Dog finding Optic. King tries to take out Y, but it's just him stuffing things. And Felix, it's not look good. Stuffing things does manage to find Kurt. Kartik is just free reigning on top. Stuffing things goes down. Reed coming in is now up to Dark Ember. And that's going to go down, and that is the series. Team Growlu wins, continuing their 3-0 streak, and Crusaders going down to 1-2.
Yes, it's just unfortunate, you know.
What an interesting game from both sides. I think that this is very telling to a lot of the other people in the league, a lot of the teams that are going to be scouting and trying to figure out things. That I think this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, you know. It feels like Hyperion just either they they don't know how to play other heroes, or they don't know when to swap to other heroes. We will be getting an interview from Team Growluwu as this 3-1 almost dominating victory from Team Growluwu is just, it just feels like it's so demanding, you know?
If I was Hyperion, I would be taking a long, hard look at my play and saying, this isn't working. We need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, they need to look at this map.
All right. We're going to take a short break, and then we will be having an interview with Growlu, specifically Clown Dog, who collected, I think, 4 remat kills over the course of this series. So I think that we'll be able to hear a little bit from him about how his team was reacting to Hyperion and what they thought of this series. So thanks. Stay tuned for that interview. Welcome back. We are here with our post-match interview. We are here with Kartik from Team Growlu. Welcome, Kartik. You played a good game. How do you feel?
I mean, I feel pretty good. You know, shout out Merc, shout out my boy Swizzy, shout out Copious Gibble, shout out Sempra too. Bismillah, bro. Yeah, I felt pretty good.
Well, you played well, and as we saw, you guys just were able to continuously adapt. Hyperion started out strong, but really started to struggle. Where did you think was really like? What were your thoughts going like as the match progressed about how to play around them?
So you know that boy, the Growlu or whatever, like he locked the Lucio. He was doing a little silly stuff, you know. Like the way I had to describe it is one of my really favorite songs. I use it all the time in life. WAP. You know, it was like he went from the top and then had to make it drop, and that's where I felt like he really threw my games. So I live right next to him, so I knocked on his door. I said, "Get off," and I, you know, just got him off. And then Contreras came in, had the speed, 105 on the like highway. It's like a 75 or something, but he made it here, and you know we did pretty solid.
Well said. Semper, do you have a question?
Yeah. So, one thing I noticed was that your hit scan capabilities were taking over a lot there, specifically on Zenyatta and on Baptiste.
Zen isn't even hit scan.
I mean
I know what you mean. Yeah,
the ability.
for sure. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
with those moments when he popped off, right?
Right.
What were the emotions? Because at one point we asked, "How is Team Growlu feeling?" You know, especially on that Anubis map, you guys were just playing out of your mind, even though your team comps were interesting.
For sure.
What were the emotions when you were playing? Like, 'cause some of you had such incredible games, Clown Dog and you and Kurt even.
Well, you know, going into this game, we were really emotional. You know, we were just super excited. You know, we were scrimming 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week just for this match here. We did a triple block the other day. You know, shout out old Meow Weezen. We used to double block all the time. Shout out Hudson, by the way. Congrats on your new son, man. And it's like the emotions were just so big. You know that I forgot his name. It was like Dark Amber, Light Amber. That man on the Genji, he was just the scariest specimen to ever play the game. So I was shaking, like I was visibly shaking, and I told Contreras, I was like, man, I'm so scared right now, and he said, don't talk to me. So yeah, I think my hit scan capabilities kind of carried over. You know, shout out Merc. She watched me play like a quick play game and told me how to use immortality. So I was kind of like I was using it a little bit, you know. I was kind of doing my thing. But yeah, back to you, Sempra.
Yeah, that's the one question I had. If Miraculous has any questions.
No, I think we've heard. I think we've heard a good feeling about how Growlu is feeling. Thank you very much, Kartik, for coming in for the interview.
Oh, can I get some shout outs real quick?
Stream Recollection by Kate Dondo.
Yeah, stream Recollection by Kartik. You know, I just want to give out a shout out to Felicity, you know, Growlu, Kurt, Merc, Reed, Zanlu. Shout out to Hudson. Shout out to Shocker. Shout out to my good friend Owlet Mail. always helps me out when I need him the most. But yeah, I think. Oh, and one more thing. This is for the old Meowweejin.
Yeah, your mic cut out.
Oh my bad. I'll run it back. Oh my,
Mic
keep
cut
cutting
out
out, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All
Well,
right, yeah.
thank you very much. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming out to the to this match. This was a very interesting match to see between Growlu and Hyperion, and I think that we're going to continue to see interesting things from both these teams. Hopefully, we're going to see the traditional Owlet spirit, where both teams continue to grow and improve over the course of the tournament. Do you have any final words, Sempra?
Well said. I hope teams can come out of this. I hope Hyperion and Team Growlu both can come out of this better teams. I hope that their capabilities are shown. I think Hyperion is an amazing team. I think Team Growlu is an amazing team, and I hope that this was a good match.
I agree. I think at the very least it was a good match. At least fun to watch, I think, from everybody's end. But thank you everybody for coming out, and we hope that everybody has a great. We have some more matches still going on, and we have more matches soon to come. So continue to thank you for coming out to support Owlet, and continue to do so. And we appreciate y'all very much. Have a wonderful evening.